continue now at the top of Daf Lamed Vav Amid Beis in Meseches Eruvin. This is Eruvin Daf 36b. Rava here is continuing to explain, let's say a person makes an Eruv and he takes off Truma. He takes off the Truma Misha Techshach, meaning he's saying that we're going to take off the Truma from after it becomes dark. So the Eruv is no good because we say that it was still really Tevel at the time that the Eruv, at the time that you're Kona the Eruv, at the time the Eruv takes effect. So Rava tried to say from there, you see from this, that it's at the beginning of Bein Hashmashos that the Eruv really takes effect. That's why this is a problem. Because if you think that the Eruv takes effect at the beginning of Shabbos, which really Rashi explains means the end of Bein Hashmashos, so when he says, I want to make an Eruv with this, why is it no good? It should be fixed. It should no longer be Tevel first, and then you're making the Eruv. So the Gemara says, no, Amar Papa says, you could even say that the beginning of Shabbos or the end of Bein Hashmashos is when the Eruv takes effect, but still it's a problem because because when it comes to Eruv Tchumen, you still need the meal to be fit from before Shabbos, and in this case it is not fit until after Shabbos begins, so that's why it's a problem. Even if the Eruv takes effect later, you still need a Seuda Haru'uya from beforehand. Gemara now continues with the Mishnah. Masna Adam Ale Ruvo. A person can make a condition with his Eruv. V'yomer, and he can say as follows: In Bo Nachrim in Mizrach, if the Nachrim come, the enemies, the non-Jews, whatever the situation is, some kind of an attack is coming from the east, Eruve L'Mayrev. Then he says, I want to make my Eruv go to the west. Min Mayrev, but if they come from the west, Eruve L'Mizrach, then I want to make my Eruv to the east. So he's allowed to make a condition in two different directions, and then whatever happens, based on what happens, the Eruv will take effect in that particular course. In Bo Lakan Ulakan, and then he can continue the condition if they come on both sides. Lamakom she'ertz elach, I want to go whichever direction I want. Lo bo, lo lakan, velo lakan, and if they don't come at all, so hareini kivnei yirei, I don't want an Eruv at all, and I want to just be like I'm in my city, and I want to have the same Eruv that I have as if I never set up an Eruv Tchumen. I want to have the same tchum that I would have as if I never set up an Eruv. In B'chacham min ha-Mizrach, let's say a similar case. If the Talmud Chacham comes from the east, Eruv l'Mizrach, then I want to make it to the east. Min ha-Mayrev, if he comes from the west, Eruv l'Mayrev, I want to make it from the west. Bo lakan lakan, from both sides. L'malkam she'ertz elach, I want to go any direction I want. Lo lakan v'lo lakan, if it doesn't come at all, hareini kivnei yirei, I want to be like the people of my city. Rabbi Yehuda says, Im hoya echad mehen rabo, if one of them is his Rebbe, holech etzel rabo, then he can go to his Rebbe. V'im hayu shnei rabosav, and if they're both his Rebbeim, l'makam she'yirtzi elach, then he goes. And Rashi over here explains, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, in bo lakan lakan, let's say they come on both sides. He has Rebbeim coming from both sides. V'echad mehen rabo, but one of the Talmidei Chacham is his Rebbe, so yelech etzel rabo, he should go to his Rebbe, v'lo etzel chacham, and not to the stam chacham. The kimon begavia the v'shas knias eruv, daite lemikni le'ahu eruv d'latzad rabo. It's obvious that at the time that he set up the Eruv, he would want to go to his Rebbe. Umiu iu hu d'lo yada le'ezem and atstad in yavu. He just didn't know which way he was coming from. V'ashta d'yada l'hasama le'zel. And now that he knows, that's the direction he should go. Gemara says over here, Kiyasa Rabbi Yitzchak Tani Yipcha. When Rabbi Yitzchak came, he had this in the reverse. Rashi here says, Tani Yipcha, Aisi Masnisa Biyade. He had a brisa, the Tani Yipcha, that actually had the reverse of what our Mishnah has, meaning Boreach min HaChacham, that he's trying to run away from the Chacham. Umas, then he's saying, in Bo Chacham l'Mizrach, Eruva l'Mayrev. If the Chacham comes from the east, I want to go west. Ulagabe Nachrim, and when it came to the non-Jews, Tani de lahu tzad de leisu Nachrim likni Eruva. He wanted to go towards where the Nachrim are. So the Gemara says, again, he had Tani Yipcha, he had the opposite. Kula masnisim kasha, the whole Mishnah becomes difficult. Nachrim kasha, Chacham Chacham. Kasha Nachrim rather. Kula masnisim, kasha Nachrim kasha, Chacham Chacham. The entire Mishnah becomes difficult. It's a kasha Nachrim against Nachrim. It's a kasha Chacham against Chacham. What's going on? So the Gemara explains not a kasha Nachrim lo kasha. It's not a kasha of Nachrim against the Nachrim. Ha b'far hegvna, ha b'mori demasa. Rashi over here explains par hegvni. Gaboy Hamas uborech mipneim. That's talking about tax collectors are coming. When it says Nachrim, you're trying to get away from, those are tax collectors. Mori Demasa tzarech ulafayas olitzok. Mori Demasa would be like the owner of the city, the person who's in charge of the government. He wants to appease the person. He wants to ask for something. So in that situation, he's actually going in that direction. And Chacham HaChacham lo kasha. It's also not a contradiction in Chacham. Ha b'mosiv pirkei ha b'mikri shema. Rashi over here says, Moshe Pirkei Lidrosh Barav Das Adam Leilech V'Lishmof. The guy's coming and he's giving a drasha, public drasha. That's he wants to go to the drasha, he wants to hear it. But Mikri Shema Kilomer Melame Tinokos Lespalel. Let's say somebody is just teaching the children how to daven, so there he's not necessarily going in that direction. Rashi continues, Umas Nisin the Rabbi Yitzchak B'Da'asu Beitrei. The case is, according to this, the case is that Rabbi Yitzchak's brisa is when two are coming, Chad L'Hai Gisa v'Chad L'Hai Gisa, from different directions. Umas Nisan had the Mosif Pirkei Kai, and the mission is going on the person giving the shir. V'Achi Kamar Ba Mosif Pirkei Lemizrach. So in our Mishnah, it means that if the person who's giving the shir is in the east, Oba, Lakan, Lakan, the Tarvayu, Mosivi Pirkei. If let's say both people from both directions are people who give shir, Lamakam She'ertza Eilech, She'yivr Lo, Lamachar, Amin, and Hovra, Adavar, the Vishas, Knias Erev, Daitehu Chacham Have. There he wants to go towards that Chacham. Udu Rabbi Yitzchak, Kayam Mikri Shema. Rabbi Yitzchak is going on the one who's just teaching Kriya Shema to the Talmidim, not something he wants to go to. V'achi Kamar, Ba Mikri Shema Lemizrach, Eruvi, Adamosa Pirkei Lemayrev. He means to say, if the person teaching Shema is in the east, I'm going to go to the west where the person giving the public drasha. Ba mikri shema l'mayrev eruve ad mosa pirkei lemizrach ba lakan lakan travayu mosive pirkei o shneim shavin l'makom shertz elech kach shamati. Rashi says this is how he heard the pshat. So it means that if you have a mikri shema, he's not that he's trying to avoid this person, but he means that he's preferring to go to the person who's giving the public drasha rather than the person who's the mikri shema. And the Gemara continues quoting the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda Omer Haya Echad Mehen. Again, Rabbi Yehuda said that his Rebbe, he's going to choose to go in that direction. Gemara says, V'Rabbanan. So what did the Rabbanan respond? Seems pretty obvious. The person's going to want to choose to go to his Rebbe. The Rabbanan don't seem to agree in the Mishnah. Tanakama doesn't seem to agree. So the Gemara says, Zimnin denicha le b'chavre tfei Rabbi. Sometimes the person wants to go to his chaver more than his Rebbe. Rashi here says, Rabbanan de Pligiat Rabbi Yehuda, Dafilu echem ein Rabbi yelech le'eza sheyirtza. Even if one of them is a Rebbe, according to the Rabbanan, he might want to go the different direction. He'll go to the one he wants. So the Gemara says, the Zimnin denicha le linish b'chavre tfei Rabbi. Sometimes the person wants to hear his chavrusa more than his Rebbe. V'yesh lomar breira afkan. Even over here, you can do this retroactive choosing and say, retroactively, it shows that I really wanted to go to the chaver. I didn't want to go to the Rebbe. Amar Rav says, Lesa lemasnisin midatoni ayo. He says, our Mishnah, we can reject our Mishnah from the brisa which Ayo brought. Rashi over here says, Lesa lemasnisin dokatoni Rabbi Yehuda yishnein rabos of lemakom sheyirtze yelech. Again, Rabbi Yehuda said that if they're both his Rebbeim, he goes any direction. Alma isle Rabbi Yehuda breira. You see that Rabbi Yehuda holds of the concept of breira. Again, breira means that you're choosing retroactively. Eruv me esmol kana, because the Eruv is really taking effect from yesterday. V'yu hashtahu dekabarile, but it only becomes clear now. V'amrinon huver hadavar de me esmol nami daite lahave. The whole idea is it's huver, it becomes clear now what he had in mind all along. So Rabbi Yehuda seems to be saying breira in our Mishnah, but Ayo says as follows. The Tani Ayo taught as follows. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Rabbi Yehuda says, Ein adam masna al shnei devarim ke'echad. A person cannot make a tanai, a condition, two things in one shot. Ayo is a shem chacham. Ayo is the name of a chacham. Rashi says, Al shnei devarim lomar bo lekan ulekan lemakom sheretz elach. He can't say if they come from both directions, I want to go any way I want. De'ein breira el al echad. Breira means you have one choice, not two choices. I don't know which direction he's coming from. In such a situation, you have one chacham coming, you don't know which direction, you can say breira. You can't say breira where if they come from both sides, then you're going to choose whatever you want. That Rabbi Yehuda would not allow, according to Ayo. Rabbi Yehuda Omer again, Ein adam masna al shnei devarim ke'echad, ela im ba chacham lemizrach eruva lemizrach, v'im ba chacham lemayrev eruva lemayrev. If the chacham comes to the east, fine, it's to the east. If the chacham comes to the west, it's to the west. Aval lekanu lekan lo, but to go in both directions is going to be a problem. The Gemara says, Ma'ishna lekanu lekan to lo. What is the difference? What is the difference by lekanu lekan, where it's totally in his own ratzon, where we say it's not good? To ein breira, we don't say breira. Lemizrach lemayrev nami ein breira. When it comes to east and west, we should also say ein breira. Rashi says, "Ma'ishno lekano lekan detola atzmo lomar beis sheretz eilech to lo shari Rabbi Yehuda." There you can't say breira. Dein breira dechibar lamachar amrin and shem esmo kikon erev lav daite hachu el ha'idach. When it comes to two chachamim coming, you say whichever one I want to go to. We don't say that retroactively that's the one he wanted all along. Say the same thing here. Mizrach u'mayrav nami b'shalo bo elechad. When one guy is coming, because hakadai techashad the bein hashmash zadayin lo b'chacham. Right now we think that a bein hashmashas, even the chacham hasn't even arrived. He's arriving after Shabbos begins. lo bachacham lemizrach shadayin haya rochag mino eruv shisha alpayim pachas teyamas. He's very far away. Umishachashecha halach alpayim, from after Shabbos came, he actually walks 2,000 amas. V'nichnas l'soch arba alpayim shalir, and he enters into the within 4,000 of the city, within the area where this guy made one of his Eruvin. B'zeh sheiniach Eruva v'tala b'das hachacham v'yamar miyavo lemizrach Eruvi lemizrach v'lo yavo lo lekan v'lo lekan hareini kivnei yiri v'lo yehei Eruv u'lemachar shama shabo lemizrach mi yomar d'v'shas knias Eruv haya das hachacham nikones l'soch dalal alpayim shalir til maloya b'daito. You don't know whether this guy at the time the Eruv was, whether the chacham had in mind to come or not. Maybe he wasn't going to come. Lazuz v'lo kanei Eruva shel zev Rabbi Yehuda kamar dekani damin huver hadavar desover achiach shamen hashmashos haya daito lekan. In other words, what the Gemara is assuming right now is in the case where, let's say, a chacham comes from the east, if the chacham is not even there yet when Shabbos starts, coming after, that's the same kind of breira as me choosing later on. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea if the chacham's going to come, yet we're saying retroactively it works. So why is it any different? So the Gemara says, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, and Rabbi Yochanan answers, Ukvar bo chacham. In the case where the chacham is coming from just one direction, the chacham already came when Shabbos started. So really it already did happen. It's not something that is going to happen after Shabbos, and then you're saying a kind of a breira. The chacham already came. Rashi over here explains, again, Rashi says, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Ukvar bo chacham, masnizin b'achi askinan. The case in our Mishnah is as follows. Chacham's already there when Shabbos, before Ben Hashmashas. He's already in that area. The issue is, the guy doesn't know which direction he's going to come from. He doesn't know if he came. When he hears about it later, it's just revealing what actually happened. This is a vadai thing. He's saying where the chacham is right now, assuming the chacham already came. That's where I want the Erev to be. He was already here. That's a lot different than in the case where they come from both directions and say, well, whichever one I decide, because that's already a breira that's happening afterwards. That's not something that's already happened. So that's Rabbi Yochanan's answer. So the Gemara now says, fine. Adarab, on the contrary, though. Leso l'dayo mimas nisan. Why are you suggesting that the Mishnah should be rejected because of Ayo? Why don't we reject Ayo because of the Mishnah? Why go in that direction? Gemara says, Lo salka daitach. No. The Gemara says that we would have never thought. Why? Because the truth is, we have other sources besides Ayo that Rabbi Yehuda does not hold of Breira. Because we learned in the Mishnah, Halokeach yain mi ben akusim. We'll continue with that, but let's take a look at Rashi over here. Why would you reject a Mishnah because of a Brisa? Gemara says, Lo salka daitach lafuke lahid Ayo. No, we will not reject Ayo. We will not reject Ayo because of the Mishnah, because we have another source really that Rabbi Yehuda doesn't hold a breira. Again, Rabbi Yehuda does not hold a breira in this kind of breiras suffix. He'll only hold of it, if you even call it breira, but he'll only hold you can do it when the chacham's already there. When it's something that was a vadai, we just don't know what happened. That's the only time Rabbi Yehuda is going to allow it. Halokeach yayin ben hakusim. This is, again, the proof that Rabbi Yehuda does not hold a breira. So, kodem shagazra al yenim. The case over here is, you're buying wine from among the goyim before there was a gezeira against drinking their wine. From the kusim, ken mefarish b'shchitas chulin, ustam kusim lo mifreshi truma. The case, the understanding is that a stam kusi does not separate truma. V'ein lo zeh kelim lahafresh l'sochan truma meiser. The case is going to be, he doesn't have kelim to separate truma and meiser into it, and he's going to use some kind of a breira, which Rabbi Yehuda is obviously going to reject. We'll see the continuation of that discussion in the next video on Daf Lamed Zayin Amud Aleph.